Greetings to everybody. We're at week 13 down at the Iowa Capitol, and I just wanted to recap some things. We did pass the RIF, that's the infrastructure bill for the state, and it had bipartisan support in the bill. One of the concerns I raised was UNI's Industrial Tech Center is in need of some significant improvements. We weren't able to get that done, but I did get a pretty strong commitment that next year we can begin to start that process. Also, tomorrow, I'm sure we'll have a long debate. We'll be doing the DHS appropriations bill. And there's 3 amendments that I have. Timmy and I are on one. It's the Sing Me to Heaven group foundation. And what they do is help families that have lost a loved one, particularly a child, to address the funeral process. So hopefully they'll listen to that and maybe consider it's $100,000. Then also the Child Protection Center in Black Hawk County at Allen, I serve on the board there. We actually created a satellite center up in Mason City. We were able to do that with $50,000 from the state. Now they're wanting to change that, and so we have an amendment to put that back in. And the other one is particularly with mental health related issues. We have a bill that would allow schools to collect payments for services that are provided in the school. And so that's been kind of a barrier, and hopefully maybe we can get some traction with that. So that's kind of what I have to say. And Timmy?
All right, so guys, I kind of pre-warned you that House Study Bill 165 was in committee. It came out of committee bipartisanly yesterday. So I want to give you a little bit of update. What that's going to do is it's going to do a 2% cap on county and city budgets. It's taking away local control. It's going to reduce public safety in our communities. And it also is going to affect our parks and other things. The wraparound to that, or kind of hidden in that bill, is 411 and IPERS. What that is doing is it is removing the allowance for the city to have the established a trust or agency fund, and that money will now have to come out of the general fund. That is huge because that's why all the other factors are going to be affected in this. The other thing is if a city or a county want to exceed the 2%, they would have to, first, they'd have to pass a resolution. The people of Black Hawk County would have 20 days to petition that. At that time, if they do that, the city or county would either have to abandon that 2% increase or have an election. Now, we all know that if we have an election, that costs the city money also. This is an egregious bill. People really need to be reaching out to our Republican friends in the House and the Senate to talk about killing House Study Bill 165. I will have information with me this weekend at the forum, and please do not hesitate to visit with me about it.
So another thing that we've done in the Iowa House is myself, Representative Akel Abdul-Samad, Representative Phyllis Thiede, Representative Ruth Ann Gaines put forth an amendment supported by our caucus in the Iowa House Democrats, minority impact statements on every piece of legislation that comes across the House floor for debate. And we think that in order to create a more inclusive Iowa, we need to make sure that we have data on how this impacts those that are sometimes left out or in the margins. So unfortunately, this amendment has been ruled not germane. I defer on that. I think that it is germane to every piece of legislation. I think in its nature, it's germane because it impacts every bill that comes across the House. Also, today the House Agriculture and Natural Resources Budget Committee met. We did not vote for that budget. The House Democrats voted against that budget because it scoops $1 million out of REAP for park maintenance, which should come from DNR, and also REAP hasn't been fully funded since it was established in '97. REAP should be funded at $20 million. Currently, we're going to do the same $12 million that we did from last year, but of that 12, we want to scoop $1 million from REAP. So we also offered an amendment to remove the sunset from REAP. REAP is set to expire 2021. So we also put forth an amendment that will remove that sunset for REAP. We know the people of Iowa overwhelmingly support REAP. So to remove that sunset will be something that we believe that people will support. This amendment was also voted down in committee, so we'll have some other information coming to you later on as we debate this on the floor as it moves forward.
Hello, everyone. As you can tell by the conversation so far that we transitioned mostly from policy into budget considerations. I'm on the Appropriations Committee, so I've seen these budgets as part of that committee more than once in various forms. And we've had some excellent update here. The bill that Ross was just talking about, we will be looking at in committee tomorrow, for example. And then, of course, last week, the education appropriation bill was passed. I sponsored an amendment to put the investment in Regents universities at the governor's recommendation. We lost on that, and the bill went through anyway. So we did infrastructure. We'll do human services tomorrow. We did education. We did admin and reg, and then we have ag and natural resources coming up, and one more that I'm missing. Transportation, we covered that, but that one's going back to the Senate because of the change we made. So it's pretty much all about the budgets. I'm working in the background still on the solar bill. Hopefully that won't come to the floor. And also a bill that has to do with utilities right away, which not too many people are interested in. So, but I'm continuing to work on those things. And so we look forward to having you at the forum. Hopefully Friday afternoon starts at 4:30. If you can't, you can listen in, watch on Facebook. And we're all available by email or telephone almost any time. So have a good weekend.